Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Left Side Strong Side. I'm your host, Shan Self, and joined by my co-host, Mike Deacon, other co-host, Jacob London. We are here to recap the very first round of the NFL playoffs. We have a ton to talk about. Before we get into that, the thing we do need to discuss that we didn't discuss last time, it literally broke the day after we streamed last week. I don't know if you have the banner, Mike, but Bill Belichick.
There were three that dropped after we'd stopped. There were three.
No, you're right. There were three. No, wait. What was the other one? Okay, we'll get that later. Point is, Bill Belichick, thank you, Mike, is no longer the coach of the New England Patriots. This ends a 24-year run of Bill in Foxborough. Six titles altogether. Most of any NFL team, tied with Pittsburgh, but most of any singular coach in the NFL. Now, as three fans of teams who Bill Belichick tormented for the better part of 20 years, we all say thank God.
Yeah.
And this empire went out not with a bang, but with a very, very sad whimper.
Yeah, but I also have a look. There is that level of thank God he's gone, but there is also that level of begrudging respect for what. 20
right.
Like you cannot look at what he has done to that Patriots team, and I know. This also did bring up all the, was it Brady? Was it Belichick? Look, at the time, it was both. One without the other never would have worked.
As we saw, they both separated.
Belichick never would have been Belichick without Brady, but Brady never would have been Brady without Belichick at the start. Those first 3 years, those defenses those 3 years were incredible. Brady isn't Brady without those defenses. So
I was a big attester of that Brady is not Brady without the defense. But yes,
yeah. But then also, and it's telling. I think it's nice for Belichick to have gotten his last Super Bowl as a Patriot was through the defense. Like he won that Super Bowl. It wasn't, if
definitely wasn't through Brady. I think we can all agree.
But if it was the Falcons one, then it would have been hard because it would have been like that was Brady's Super Bowl. Like that one was 100. That was on Brady because Belichick's defense messed up that day, and Brady just came back to win the whole freaking thing.
No. I saw the movie. Luke Tom was the MVP of that Super Bowl. I saw it. It happened.
Yep. Sorry, but whereas in that final one, that was Belichick. That Belichick defense won them that Super Bowl. It managed to stop the highest scoring offense that year. Like he managed to score. Belichick managed to stop the Rams' greatest show on turf twice in his career. Like I do think this was a time of celebration. I also think it's the most emotional I've ever seen Belichick ever in that press conference. Which
I actually saw him give a tear, which was.
Yeah, like it was. Oh, this is a big deal for him. This was a big deal for him. So, look, you tormented us for literally 2 decades, but look, it's you have to give him the respect for what he in the league and the organization.
Now, in his stead, this is the big shock. Gerard Mayo, a longtime Patriots player and Patriots coach, is now going to be the head coach of the New England Patriots, which he's never been a head coach, never even been a coordinator.
Yeah, that's the big thing, I think.
So this is a crazy, and it's not a total Jeff Saturday situation because he has been a coach in the NFL ever since he retired, but that's a crazy amount of responsibility to take on from what he was doing in the past. So, Gerard, good luck. You're going to need it, especially because you are a black coach in Boston. So,
yeah. I mean, look, I will give the league, I will give Kraft credit in that. In one, he hired a black coach. But the only reason he's allowed to be hired as of today is because they've been building at it. They had an internal plan to build him up to make him the next coach. And, because you can't hire a coach until next week unless they're internal through this progression period. And that's what they've done. So, good on them.
Yeah. What were the other firings that we had that I'm not thinking about?
Pete Carroll was
yeah.
Pete Carroll
was before we went live, so we talked about that last week.
Okay.
Pete Carmichael's gone. Thank Christ. I did not realize he was at the Saints for 15 years. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and then obviously, the other retirement we could talk about, but not the. What's his name? Retiring in college.
Oh, Saban.
Oh, yes. Saban. You're right. Holy shit. Yeah. Nick Saban is gone.
Yeah. Nick Saban's gone, guys. That's a big deal.
Yeah. And it's not and this was just super sudden. And it's odd because Alabama, they're not the powerhouse they used to, but they're still good.
Oh, yeah.
And given the fact that the playoff for college was going from 14 to 12, that's the thing that really benefited Saban in the long run. So I am shocked he decided to call it quits.
All right, so let's move into the actual playoff games. So we'll start.
Yeah, where are we starting? Oh, yeah. Okay, the Matt Thomas Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when I said a few weeks ago that eventually, I couldn't say when, but I knew that at some point the Joe Flacco magic was going to run out. Well, congratulations, Browns. The Joe Flacco magic ran out at the worst possible time.
And the thing was, he started on fire. This game at the beginning looked like we were going to have an outright shootout. And then the second quarter happened, and Joe Flacco, the elite Joe Flacco, and his last couple of years on the Ravens and his Jets days and his Broncos days showed up, and wow, what an implosion!
God, Joe Flacco, genuine argument for not stonks of the week. I got somebody else I'm giving it to later. But,
yeah, I do too.
Yeah, no, Joe Flacco, again, this is why Matt, I know you're watching, I know you're listening. This is why you do not trust Joe Flacco in the year of our Lord 2024. You don't do it. No, he is not going to take you anywhere. But conversely, though, the Texans, holy shit, did they look good.
Firing on all cylinders, both sides of the ball, they look good.
There were two teams that this was the top defense in the NFL for this regular season 2023.
Ran all over them.
And they allowed 45 points.
Yeah.
From a rookie QB.
So I'm going to start pushing back a little bit on the best defense in football. And I know that's coming from me, who's been very high on the Browns all year. But ever since Myles Garrett's injury, who have they faced? Realistically, quarterback-wise. A banged-up Trevor Lawrence. Justin Fields, where he was playing like trash. And that's also the closest game they've had.
Yep.
Davis Mills, because that's when they played the Texans and they didn't have
Stroud.
Trevor Siemian, and then a final game where no one was. It was Jake Browning, and no one was really playing, and they got beaten.
I'm giving them the best purely because they finished number one in points.
No, I understand that, but I think a lot of what has been around the Browns has been that. Right. They've not played anyone. They've had a really good run going in, which, when they started actually having to play people like the Rams, so it was week 11, I think he got injured. They played the Rams, got completely blown out. Broncos got completely blown out. And they won all the other games, but look who they were against. The Browns were a bit more smoke and mirrors than I think we were expecting. And I think that's been shown with this one with CJ. They played a real quarterback in CJ Stroud. Well done, CJ Stroud. Holy crap.
He's legit. There's no arguing. He's rookie of the year.
Oh, 100%. There is nobody else. He's the undisputed rookie of the year. Finally, an Ohio State quarterback in the NFL who's actually worth a damn. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Right.
Moving on to
So now,
not much to say about that game, but I will give credit to the Browns to get to where they did, starting 4 different quarterbacks throughout the season. I don't know, might be 5 actually.
5.
Yeah, 5 different quarterbacks. To get where you were, though, still fantastic job. Way outperformed what we thought you'd be. The question is, though, what the hell happens now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because that cap hit's huge. That's a bad cap hit.
Ooh,
It's gonna really good next year.
Yeah, and but then it's gonna. I've seen a few people online being like, "Oh man, how weird! It's gonna be really bad when the league gives Kevin Stefanski Coach of the Year and instead of D'Amico Ryans after what he just did with that." I said, "Yeah, but look, yes, this game was embarrassing, but also." With 5 quarterbacks,
they gave it to Vrabel in 2021, and look what he did. Literally, same thing happened. Playoffs don't really matter to the AP for, they can help, but they're not really the end all be all. If it was, then Vrabel never would have won Coach of the Year in 2021.
Look in 21 and 21 as well. They gave it to Rodgers when Brady completely whooped his ass in the playoffs.
No. That wasn't that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, that was 2020, not 2021.
Oh, it was 2020. Damn. Yeah.
All right. So live from Peacock.
Yeah, the Chiefs versus the Dolphins. So this is the other side of the coin. Browns, number 1 defense in terms of points allowed per game, completely exposed by the Texans. Conversely, the Dolphins. Number 1 team overall in terms of points scored per game, granted, because the 70 has a lot to do with that.
Right.
Completely lambasted by the Chiefs, and this is where the Dolphins just all the small little games they gave up, it's like exponential growth. They added up into this game because had they won just 1 or 2 of those games, this doesn't happen. Because they're playing at home in Miami.
The worst loss for them all year, the one that they're going to be looking back and going,
Tennessee.
Sorry?
Tennessee.
Yeah, the Titans game. That Titans loss killed them. That Titans loss is the reason that they're here. And that's what I said after that game. I came on here after that Titans loss and went, Bills are winning the division because the rest of their schedule was a pain in the ass. And that's what happened. They had to play this. I also remember at the start of the year, remember when I said Tua, after that 70-point game, Tua had to walk in with his agent and said, I want Herbert's contract right now or I'm not playing another snap. He needed to do it. He's not getting paid.
That's still bad form.
I know. It's $176 million that he's now not getting. He will be lucky to get Baker's contract.
Granted, okay, actually, honorable songs of the week. Everybody who attended this game, everybody who went and froze their ass off in this game.
Holy hell. That had to have been absolutely miserable.
No.
Had to be double miserable for the Dolphins fans who wasn't going to this game and watched their team do this.
I mean, did you see the aluminum the aluminum bottles of Michelob Ultra? They were opening them and they were just
there's slushies.
Slushies, yeah.
Yeah. Same with the people getting the water out of the fridge and it just
it's freezing.
Yeah. Just crazy, insane.
Shout out to the fans who attended this game. Look, am I putting a lot of stock into this game for the Chiefs? No, I am not. Why? Because we've had questions about Miami the entire year, and they all came through here. And this is the kind of team the Chiefs should beat. Very sus defense, an offense that does not have an off switch whatsoever. And today they just could not get started because they cannot operate in the cold because, Miami.
Yeah. But it's also, it's unfortunate, but Tua is they're going to live forever with the regret of drafting Tua over Herbert, over Love, over Hurts. They're going to live with that regret. And
thing is, at the time,
I know at the time, I understand that, but it's
a hindsight 2020. At the time,
it absolutely 100% is. It's just one of those painful ones where it's like, God damn.
Yeah, again, and again, take Pittsburgh. We could have had Jalen Hurts, and we didn't take him.
Like it's just one of those. Oh God. Anyway.
But yeah, look, Chiefs. I gotta see. Like next week, we'll talk about it later. Next week is their real big test. Again, not putting. I'm not saying the Chiefs are back. No, absolutely not. I think that they expose a team that we kind of all suspected were frauds, but we're slowly, like, gradually put into the fraud status.
So not to just completely move on from this game so quickly, because I actually do want to talk about a little. That's now 2 years in a row. Mike McDaniels has managed to get this team to the playoffs, and they've just flamed out.
Yeah. The thing is, though, they looked better last year.
Yeah,
without Thompson in a QB.
Yeah, so
like, thing is, again, I will attest, and you might not agree, Jacob. With Tua, they probably win that game.
Look, Bills played awful. Bills last year was terrible. They're kind of the opposite of what they've done this year. Is they looked great during regular season, then just flamed out towards the end. And this year we looked terrible in the regular season, and we're on a hot streak right now. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But McDaniel, I don't think next year he is on the hot seat. I think next year is Tua's prove it year.
Absolutely. I think
if they have another bad year, if they have another one of these where, my God, the offense looks electric, but the defense is horrific, they're gonna start. There's going to start being questions and like, hey, why can't you build a defense?
Yeah, I mean, like, the defense will come into question. And I think that this is a team that will definitely draft the best defender on the board in the draft next year. Secondly, though, somebody fact check. Did Tua's option get picked up? I want to say yes, but I'm not.
I believe they did. I do believe that they did pick up his 5th year option. So he is playing. He is playing on the 5th year next year.
21, 2, 3. No, you're right. Yeah. No, you're right. Next year, like, is the Tua, like, are we going to extend you long term?
Yeah, because I don't think look, the only thing that could happen is, not wishing this on anyone, if he has a serious injury in the first month like Dak did, he'll get put on the franchise tag most likely then. But other than that, I don't think they tag him next year at all. It's going to be one of those, we have to see something this year or we're going to have to draft someone else.
Yeah. Bill, Dolphins, you were fun to watch most of the time, but yeah, like, it was death by 1,000 cuts. Like every little thing added up to a really big thing, and this is why you're here.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next game, what do we got? Oh yeah, this is our upset of the week.
Christ.
This game was, and I said it last week. I'm just like, I had a weird feeling the Cowboys were going to fumble this. I didn't know how. I didn't know why. I see how, because for whatever reason, the Packers, doesn't matter who's quarterback, doesn't matter if it's Favre, Rodgers, or now Love, they have some kind of hex on the Dallas franchise.
They know how to beat them. They just know how to beat this team. And
I will say, Mike McCarthy, this was the greatest coaching job you did for the Packers ever. I have never seen you coach better for the Packers than I did this past weekend.
I actually want to spend a little bit of time on this one. I actually kind of want to, like, really dive into this game, because I think this is our next game.
This is the story. This game is the story.
This is the story of the week. Well, this and the last game that we're going to talk about as well. So everyone, and look, obviously we got confirmation today that they're not going to fire Mike McCarthy, so it's kind of a moot point.
Which, yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
We'll get into that. But, like, 100, like, out of there were 5 people to blame, like 5 areas to blame in this game. Number 5, Jerry Jones, just because how much he fucking talks and just is just a distraction on the organization. Number 4, Micah Parsons played it awful. He was genuinely terrible.
Oh, it's like somebody told you all.
I know. And Chance, I'm going to own that. This one hurts me specifically because I was the Cowboys, like, believer this year. I actually thought that they had half a chance this year, and I'm off the bandwagon. I'm done.
We were all wrong in the NFC though. Like we all got the NFC
wrong right now.
We all
I'm
did.
really done. Number 3, I think, is Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy's play calls were the right calls. I think he actually was his playmaking and play calling was actually pretty correct. Now, he didn't get the team up ready for a fucking playoff game, and I don't understand how.
That's the biggest problem. Like,
Yeah,
they
and
played like a team who was not ready.
Yes. And
They played like a team who took this game for granted, took this team for granted, took them because they were a 7th seed who played pretty shit in the first 10 weeks. They started looking past the divisional, and they just did not get up for this game. And Green Bay did punch them in the mouth early, and they couldn't recover. They were just so shook they could not recover. And yet, my nut stonks the entire Cowboys organization, every single one of you.
Look, fair. I'm gonna give it to my number 2 reason that they lost was fucking Dak Prescott. Holy shit! Just Dak, what did you do?
Oh my god! Like Dak Prescott, a guy we were all talking about as a potential MVP, came out and gave.
He's going to be second in the MVP.
No, he is. Good talk about the regular season, but like this, and I'm saying this a lot. This might be the most embarrassing playoff loss from the Dallas Cowboys in the McCarthy era, which is saying a lot because every year they end on some stupid shit.
Look, last year was the Zeke at center. They were in the game. The year before that, it's the spike.
It's the QB draw up the middle with no timeouts.
With no timeouts. But hey, if they manage to get that spike off with a second to go, maybe they win that game. I
did not think it could get worse than the Zeke fumble last year. I was wrong. I was very wrong.
This is the most embarrassing. And we'll talk about the offense, and then I'll get into the number 1 problem for this game. The offense. Dak was missing throws. Like, that's what I meant. Like, when people blame Mike McCarthy, the play calls were right. He was just missing CeeDee Lamb completely. They
were just 2 players who were just never on the same page. I don't understand it.
And all year, they have been like this magical team up. CeeDee Lamb's being considered a top 5 wide receiver in the league, if not one of the best. It just wasn't there at all. They were completely dismantled. Dak, look, the first interception is one of those. Oh, that's a great play from the defender. That would I don't think you can really slaughter Dak for that one because it's in CD's hands, and it was Jair, wasn't it? I think
it was Darnell Savage.
Savage just rips it out. That's a great play from Savage. I can't blame Dak for that one. The pick 6, dude, you got to be better than that. That's
horrendous.
Horrendous. Not do that. It was horrendous. And then also one of the underrated ones. He gets bailed out in the end of the first half when he throws it short. When he throws it short of the sticks or throws it short of the end zone, but he gets bailed out because of a flag. Like he threw it short. They stopped him with no time left with no timeouts and 6 seconds on the clock, and he gets saved and bailed out by that. But it's just, it was
the crazy thing is, like, look, you let yourself off and get stifled by Joe Barry, a guy Packers fans were ready to crucify a few weeks ago. Like, probably still are.
Yeah, we were talking before the game. I was talking with Ellis about it. Like, I thought what would happen was Love would be nervous for about 2 or 3 series, and then after that he'd really get into it and it would be a shootout. The problem would be in those first 3 series, Dak would score each time because that Joe Barry defense is so terrible. And it would be 21-0, and at that point it's kind of, oh, these are all garbage times. That happened. It just was the other way around. It was just like Dak was the one who was nervous for a playoff game. And now Dak had played himself into the perfect position to honestly, in all seriousness, seriously earn a $60 million a year contract next year. I don't know if he can now, but I also don't know what the Cowboys do, because what are they going to do if they don't?
Well, no, like, this is also they have Trey Lance. That's what they do. This is 3 back-to-back years of embarrassing playoff losses headed by Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's staying for whatever reason. I don't know why. He is staying.
Yeah.
But thing is, you can cut Dak after this season with minimal dead cap hit.
Well, he's off contract. He's straight up off contract.
Next year.
Sorry, next year.
He's not. Like you can just cut him this year with minimal dead cap. He has an out after this season.
Right.
I'm just curious what the Cowboys do with Dak Prescott, because I feel like Dallas at this point, if they don't know now, they should. Dak Prescott isn't going to get him anywhere. It's like Tennessee with Tannehill. Like they know this dude's not going to take him anywhere.
But I don't know what you do. The other one is there was a 4th down play where I was seriously convinced Dak was going to spike the ball. I was like,
I remember that play.
Is Dak going to spike this fucking ball? Right? It's 4th down. What do you do? Like that was the type of game it was. But the one who deserves the most blame, the absolute most blame, Dan Quinn. What the hell? What?
You want to think that whole Dan Quinn head coach argument?
Yep. He's going to get the Seattle job, but I just, Jesus Christ.
Any team stupid enough to hire Dan Quinn as a head coach, again, you deserve everything you get.
I have no words for
Mike,
that.
you've been awful quiet.
I mean, when Jacob's saying everything that I needed to say for the most part, but
sorry.
The thing I was going to go on the other side though. Like, hey, the Packers came out swinging.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Swinging.
Packers, all credit to you.
All
guys,
hard,
man.
and Jordan Love seems like I'm not saying he's an elite NFL quarterback, but he is a solid starter. He has solidified himself as a legitimate NFL starter. This team is young. They have a handful. Offensive line is going to age out a little bit. And, Aaron Jones is getting a little bit old, but this is a team that you're going to have to worry about. He's doing this right now with no experience, one of the worst receiving corps in football, and they're coming out and just throwing daggers out there. So the Packers have just so much to celebrate this week. Even if they don't go much further in the playoffs, this was a monstrous win for that franchise.
But also, what a fucking rebound for Jordan Love, a guy who looked really good, then looked really bad, then started looking really good again. Fucking hats off to you, Jordan Love.
So I was talking about this with Taylor. If Jordan Love wins this weekend against the 49ers, is Herbert's contract the starting point? Because he's then off. He's in his 5th year. Like he needs an extension then.
Mm-hmm. His 5th year is next year.
No, it's not. It's this year. It's the same as
Tua. It's not. It's next year.
Oh yeah, but as in he's entering his 5th year next year.
Yeah,
next season. So he is on one more year he has one more year with the Packers.
Well, they'll give him the extension in the offseason. Like if this team goes to the conference championship, he's getting an extension after that.
That's what I'm asking. He'll get the extension. Is Herbert's contract the starting point?
Starting point's more like Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
It's going to depend on how far they go, honestly.
I just think if he beats Cowboys and the 49ers, I just look. It's not the Burrow contract, just watch
Aaron Rodgers seething, swallowing the pride and seething with anger being the 49ers.
Well, I'll tell you what. If this is the 3rd time it's happened, we're gonna start looking back at Aaron Rodgers and go, was it more the organization? If it's the 3rd time it happens, and how we're all looking back now, Gutekunst made the right choice in 2020.
Well, that's the thing. We all said this better pay out. This better pay off, or you're like a fucking moron. Right now, it looks like it could pay out. It
looks like it could. Look,
very, very small sample size, but again, this is a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's one playoff win. It's funny. All he has to do is literally win one Super Bowl, and he ties Aaron Rodgers. That's my favorite. But it's not like it's it's not like the bar is massively high, but
Right.
it's like it's high. Don't get me wrong. Like it's not low, but it is. It's not like it's, hey, you have to win 3 Super Bowls for you to be this legend within this organization. If he wins 2 for them, it'll be like, oh my god.
But like, given the Packers' history, we know it's only gonna be one. He will get one, and he will get only one.
Yeah. And just going back, my last thing about Dan Quinn, just because we haven't actually mentioned it, the single greatest, funniest defensive play I have ever seen in my entire life, where he was that wide open they couldn't even get a defender.
Oh my god, there was nobody within 15 yards of him.
Yep.
It's the most wide open
I'm like,
anyone.
What the fuck kind of zone scheme is this? So
just like it's just he and what's funny is
any of us could have caught that ball.
Yeah, like what's funny is at that point, like not that one specific, like going through the game, they were down 20. It was 20-0, and I was texting my dad saying like, and he was like, "Oh, this game's over." I said, "No, not yet, because if the Cowboys go down, they score, they get the reload, they score again. They're only down by 6. Like this isn't. It looks bad, but it's not over yet." And literally, as I hit send, Dak threw the pick 6, and I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, this game's over."
Yep. Yeah, no, like again, like even in our fantasy chat, just like it's like, oh shit, but it's like, don't call the Cowboys dead. Yeah, that picture. I'm like, nope, yeah, Cowboys are dead. It's over.
Yeah, and then and Taylor's sitting there going, "I've seen this. This literally happened last year." Like she was like, because she was rooting for the Packers, but it was just like, I've seen this. This literally happened last year.
Yeah, but that comes with the caveat that has to be the Chargers. That has to be the Chargers.
But that's the thing. Like and I went, okay, the opening drive is the most important thing. And as soon as Aaron Jones got that like 30-yard run, I was like, okay, this game's over. Yep, they're gonna win this. Like that run was that sealed the game.
Yeah, but Cowboys, congratulations on the most heartless, gutless, ballless, and soulless performance I have ever seen from you in any game in the Mike McCarthy era.
It's sad how
in maybe a decade of Cowboys football, I've never seen a loss this embarrassing.
It is sad that we look at this game though and be like, man, that was the most soulless, heartless team I've ever seen. And then Monday happened.
No, I'd still give this.
I think Monday's a lot worse.
I'll explain why when we get there, but no.
Going on the opposite end, I think we can all agree on this one.
It was the best game of the week.
100%. Easy.
Yeah. Like Lions, it was realistically, it was the only good game. It was the only game that was a fight. That was actually like a back and forth game.
For the whole game, yes. Another game had the moment, which we'll talk about later, but yeah. Matt Stafford returning to the land that made him great, even though we didn't realize at the time. Well, real football fans did. Other fans will tell you that he was never that good, but we all know it's not fucking true. Returning to Detroit to take on the Dan Campbell-led Lions. And this was a knockdown, drag-out fight. It's one of those fights where like you just see it's like slow body blow, and like it's like the final fight in Warrior. It's to equate to a movie where I can see these two going at it and just like, oh, I love you both so much. I don't want to see either of you lose, but I know one of you has to. One of you has to for the greater good. And it ended up being Detroit. Detroit gets their very first playoff win in, 30 years?
91, I think it was.
Yeah, so the last time they won the division, I'll find out. Also, last time they won the division.
Yeah, 91.
Shit.
My Stonks player of the week was not somebody on the field. It was their 66-year season ticket holder who finally had something to celebrate. Because holy hell, for a franchise like that with a genuinely passionate fan base, like to watch something as listless as that for that long. Wow, the Lions. This current Lions team is really. It's hard to think of another team, at least in recent history, that really reminds me a lot of them in their organization as a whole. Because with the exception of, their Hutchinson and maybe Gibbs. Most of this team was never expected to be anything. Well, Goff was when he was on the Rams, but this is all players who were not expected to be superstars, and they are just gelling together so well. I know that they are a very up and down team because Campbell is such a wild card at play calling. But if they can maintain what they did in this game, the Rams were out for a fight, and that this was what I love about it. Like, this is a classic NFL playoff game for me. This is by far the best game of the week. I wish I wish they all were like this. Two teams going at it. Will say, did not like them booing Stafford the way they did, but aside from that,
yeah. Again, it reminded me a lot of Russell Wilson. The difference is, like, Russell Wilson left under bad circumstances. Matt Stafford did not.
Yeah.
But like booing him like while he's playing, I get it. Booing him while he's stepping onto the field, it's like, come on. Yeah. Like, you held this dude's career back for over a decade. Show some fucking respect, but whatever.
No, I look, majority of this game, like, I think this game was easily one of the best of the week. Like, it was the best of the week. It was. And you couldn't help but get caught up in the emotion of it all, like, of what this meant for the Lions, what this meant for that city, what this meant for that organization. Like, it was just one of those, like, as someone who's not even a Lions fan, you got caught up in the emotion of it all, of just like what this meant for that organization, what this meant for that town. So that was really nice to see. That was really great. I feel like, someone put out the tweet of, that was a Matthew Stafford game. He plays legendary. He plays fantastically, gets hurt, comes back on, tries his absolute best, but can't get a win at Ford Field.
Yeah.
And it was just, that was a Matt Stafford game. Like,
I will say, look, we all thought there was a chance Matt Stafford retires before the start of the season. Now, I don't think so. I think that Stafford this season shows still got a lot of gas in the tank.
Stafford's not going anywhere.
No, he's got one more. I think he's got one more year in him at least.
Maybe two.
It's going to depend on the injuries, because like that, it's going to depend on if he gets injured again next year.
Priority next year is making sure Stafford stays upright.
Yeah, they really got to work on that O-line. Like, the O-line got a lot better as the season went on, but they lucked out in Puka, because holy shit, is that kid good? Yeah. They've got Cup, so you've got two legitimately fantastic wide receivers. I'd say it's really unfortunate for Higbee, because Higbee been playing really well, and that's his season next year is basically done. Like, is going to be out.
He's on the Kyler time frame. Like, he's coming back in November earliest.
Yeah, exactly. Which really does suck for him. And
but I would keep an eye out for, like, tight ends in the market signing to this team because of Higbee.
Yeah, exactly. But the O-line's really where they're going to have to focus a lot on, and that defense as well. Like, I know they've got Aaron Donald, but because they've got Aaron Donald, the support players are able to get make their numbers look great because everyone's so terrified of Donald. But like, O-line is their biggest thing that you got to look at in the offseason.
Mainly tackles. They got to get a better tackle, which they could do. Like, the tackle class in the first round is pretty deep, so they probably could get a good tackle where they're sitting at right now. But Rams, good.
There's going to be a lot of teams trading. There's going to be a lot of trading in this draft.
The more I've read into this draft, wow, I think we might set a first round record for trades with where teams are positioned and the amount you mentioned, the offensive linemen, like, both, obviously a big need for the Rams. Just look back to the draft that everybody talked about as the quarterback class, which was the 2021. Who did the Lions take? Sewell.
Yeah,
Sewell.
Arguably is top 3, if not higher than that.
Oh, best right tackle in football right now. Best right tackle in football. Yeah. And look, I said in our chat, like, I don't think the Bengals regret taking Chase, but I bet they really wish they had Sewell right now.
Yeah.
The Jets would happily give up Zach Wilson for Sewell.
Well, yeah. It is this is a tangent. It's amazing how the 2020 QB draft was not considered a great QB class because everyone was looking forward to the 2021, which was Trevor Lawrence. Like they were like, oh, Joe Burrow, and then the rest are all Joe Burrow and maybe Tua, but then everyone else is kind of not great. There's four. Okay, there are 3 legitimately great quarterbacks right now from that class, potentially another one,
right?
And then we'll see what happens with Tua. And whereas in 2021,
everyone flamed out.
It's going to be lucky if, like, right now, Trevor Lawrence is probably the only one getting a contract, and I don't know what that contract's going to look like. I can't.
We'll talk about that. It's going to depend on next year.
Yeah.
But Lions, congrats, you earned it. I don't recall a single 4th down conversion in this game. So Dan Campbell showed restraint.
I thought there was. No, I thought there was. He went for a nuts one early.
One. Oh, that's right. He did. He did. One. But hey, he kept it to 1. So good job. Way to contain yourself. All right, moving on.
Make some popcorn.
But why? But what?
The first ever
left side, strong side playoff game. Me versus Jacob, and won about as well as you. Although I will give credit. Look, we're down 21-0 early. The team kept fighting back, and I know you were sweating, Jacob. I know you were sweating.
Okay, so the irony was this is the one game of the week I actually didn't watch because I was driving home. So the irony bit, like, so I was just getting texting up there, and I was listening to it on the radio. And I'll admit I was never comfortable whatsoever. The thing that's not pissed, like, that I'm most terrified out of this game was how many injuries we had. That's the thing that's just going, fuck me. There were so many casualties from this game. And don't get me wrong, once we had a few players go down and we'd started kind of putting the cue in the rack, thinking about next week, that's when you definitely started to come back. And I'll admit, it was a little bit of worry of like, oh God, we're going to blow this, aren't we? But that was really where it was. Like, I was never really like, oh God, we're actually going to really blow it. Like, I was just like, nope, I'm not messing with karma today on that. Like, I'm just not touching it. That's why I was very well behaved in our chat. I was very well behaved in everything. It was, nope, I'm not poking the bear. I'm not tempting any of this because I just want to get through to next week, especially given who we were playing next week.
Right.
The two biggest takeaways from this game for me, from a Bills fan, is one, we obviously had the game be delayed because of the weather. And that I think is really, I think more than anything, that's going to actually really hurt us because we're now on a 5-day turnaround instead of the 5-day turnaround instead of the full 6. And because of that, we're going to have some injured players. We've just straight up got some injured players, and we're just not going to have them back in time to be able to play next week against the Chiefs. I'm hoping that we do, but other than that, I thought Josh Allen played really well for how he's been playing. I thought, the 50-yard run was fucking incredible, and I've seen
it
was. And look, I understand the people complain. I've seen the people bitch and complain about how he fakes a slide. I don't think he faked a slide at all. I think he's juking. It's just when a 6'8" fucking brick shithouse tries to juke, it looks weird. Like, it just looks a little bit weird, and that's what he was trying to do.
Josh Allen's not known for being, quick.
So, and then when you take that and then when he actually slid, that was a late hit. Like I
give you that one. That was late. Miles Jack on that drive, just like, bro, this is why we did not bring you back this season. Initially, we needed help because we were desperate. We had no inside linebackers. Yeah. But it's like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh, and he's been playing well up this one. It's like, oh, wait a minute, this is why we cut you last season. The dude just forgot how to play football for a few plays, and that's what a lot of things cost in this game. Bad turn by Mason Rudolph in the end zone. Again, I feel like we once again learned that Mason Rudolph wasn't it.
But I don't think any of us have ever been saying Mason Rudolph was it.
No,
I just think
we weren't. But I know people were saying like he's playing so much better. And it's like it's adrenaline. Just wait, it'll turn off. And it turned off.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph turned out into Mason Rudolph. But because of what Mason Rudolph was doing, I think we all just went, oh, it's me. Because he's doing this. You need a legitimate quarterback. You need someone there.
If we can just like stretch off the last minute Kenny into the full game, I'm like, we'll be fine. But okay, so takeaways as a Steelers fan. One, we played better than I thought we would going into this game without TJ Watt.
Yeah.
Again, a guy who is so vital to our team. We only won one playoff. We've only won one game without him playing against Tom Brady. That's how vital he is to our team. Biggest take. There were a lot of takeaways after the game. Mainly involving Mike Tomlin, which I'm not putting this loss on Mike Tomlin. There were a lot of mistakes we had, mainly turnovers and fumbles, which that's not Tomlin. That's the players.
Yeah.
And like ball security normally is not an issue. There's just like a weird anomaly game. After the game, there was a press conference in which he was asked about his contract, and he immediately stormed off. And it's like all of us, we were all just questioning, like, did we just watch Mike Tomlin's last game as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Now, it's been a few days. Time has moved on. And we have got confirmation. Mike Tomlin will be back next season, which I think great. I still will go back to Mike Tomlin. I still think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL right now.
Easy.
But we did get two other pieces of news that I do think are really great for the team. One is that we will bring out in outside competition. Like Kenny right now is QB1, but we will bring outside competition for Kenny. Just like battle out in camp, which I'm not against. I am not against. I want the best quarterback under center next season. If it's Kenny, great. If it's somebody else, awesome. It doesn't matter. The other thing he said I think is incredible is that he is seeking outside candidates for OC next season, which is huge. Yeah. Because Mike Tomlin is a guy who traditionally promotes from within, which is the one thing I was terrified of that he was going to do again.
That is a big deal. I do think that's huge. Look, honestly, for your Steelers team, I think the one you need to go out and spend the money. I think you need to go get Russell Wilson.
We don't have the money. That's the problem.
But you're going to get him cheap. You're not going to have to spend the $150 million contract. You're going to get him.
Will he give us $7 million to play? Because that's where we're at right now.
He might. In all seriousness, I don't know because I don't know any other teams that are going to grab him. Realistically, right now,
I'm not opposed. Look, Russell Wilson comes with a lot of baggage. I'm not opposed to Russell Wilson. No, please no. I don't want to.
Hey, it's better than what the Bears are doing. Jesus.
I don't know what the Bears are doing. And a lot of teams, which again we'll talk. Well, I'm sure we'll get into when we do our off-season special. But I love that we are I love Tomlin is kind of adapting after the buck. I feel like he knows that next year, this is really kind of his test year. I need you to do something next year. You don't have to win a Super Bowl, but it'd be nice if you did. But you have to do something.
I think next year your big aim is to try and be at minimum divisional, if not conference. I think that is the aim. Look, but the problem you've got is the AFC. It's again that if for you to have made a conference final, it would mean you have had to have beaten at least Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, or Patrick Mahomes. One of them has to not be there, which is just it is crazy.
So we again, Steelers, a lot of question answers, obviously, that I'm very curious to see how they answer those questions going forward. But moving on.
A lot of questions.
Yeah, the Eagles. Holy shit.
So, look.
I'm sorry. Well, first of all, we have two answers. scrub the entire coaching staff minus Sirianni, and potentially Sirianni next season.
I think Sirianni. Look, this is when you said that. I thought the way the Eagles came in, they just didn't care. This was Brandon Staley bad. This game is
The reason I say the Cowboys is worse is because I think there's a wider gap of talent between the Packers and the Cowboys compared to the Bucs and the Eagles. And you had the fact that the Cowboys are playing at home, a place where they have not lost all season.
That's fair. I'll give you that, but the Cowboys one I can excuse to we thought we were going to flog them. We you know what I mean? Like they just went, we were looking ahead to next week. I can't excuse this one. There's no excuse.
I'm not excusing them. I'm just saying I think the Cowboys is worse.
Like, I don't understand why, for a playoff game with how you have looked over the last 5 weeks and how lethargic and awful you have looked, why this team looked like they had just given up. They had quit. That's what they look like. They look like they had quit completely. And it's not even like they look like they had quit with 20 minutes to go, in the fourth quarter. It was, no, you look like you would quit from the second the kickoff happened. You were just done. You were like, yeah, no, we're done for the season. We don't want to be here. And that makes me go, they're not playing. Sirianni has lost the locker room. It's done. They're not playing for him anymore. And that's concerning.
I think that also comes the fact that the people that Sirianni has appointed to head up, who the guy he appointed as OC, the guy he replaced at the replacement put in as DC. He's just we don't like these dudes. They're not working for us, and you're just not doing anything about it. And then I think that Sirianni is still a good coach. The real test is going to be next year because, we know Howie Roseman will not hesitate to fire a coach who's done well for them in the past, who's not cutting it anymore.
Yeah, but the reason why I look at it and go, why I can't justify keeping Sirianni this year is, one, look at who's available. They're not all going to be available next year. The talent level next year is not going to be the same that it is this year. You're not going to have a Mike Vrabel, a Jim Harbaugh, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, and then Ben Johnson. You're not going to have that level available for you to go get. So that's number one. But number two, what does he do? He doesn't play call. He doesn't it's
like Office Space. What exactly would you say you do here?
Yeah, what does he do? Because his, he assigns the roles. So he's the one who hired the 2 awful coordinators this year that have been completely awful on this team. It is really looking like Shane Steichen was the coach of this team last year. That Shane Steichen really was the reason that this team looked so good last year. Not Sirianni, and you lost him, and now suddenly, what's going on? Because he's an offensive-minded coach. If the defense was amazing and the offense just looked lethargic this year, cool. You lost your offensive coordinator. I understand that.
Both sides are bad. And the defense got progressively worse as he did.
It absolutely did, and that's they have given up. They do not care, and they are not playing for him. And when there are coaches you could go get Mike Vrabel, you could go get Pete Carroll, you could go get one of these guys for cheap, or not cheap, but for you
can't get Pete Carroll. He's still technically employed by Seattle, but
you can get him. He is eligible to get. You can interview him.
No, but you're eligible to get him. But I don't think he's going to step into the front office just to go get another head coaching job at 72.
Yeah. Well, he did say he wants to keep coaching. So I
didn't say that.
Yeah. I just think that you are not going to have a market like this in coaching next year. So if he fails again next year, oh, cool, we could have had Bill Belichick and now the Commanders got him and they're kicking our ass. Or, oh, we could have had him and, I think it is a big mistake right now with how that Eagles team looked to not. I think you need to go and at least make a call and say, would you be interested? Yeah, Jalen Hurts? Hell yeah. All right, I'm in.
I will say, though, I feel like this is also the last time we see Julio Jones on a field because I now believe Julio Jones is cursed. Because every time he goes through a team trying to ring chase, that team falls flat on their fucking face.
Well, yeah.
Every time. Happened to the Titans, happened to the Bucks, happened again here.
Probably. Look, I'm willing to give Hurts.
Trust Matt Patricia. I don't trust Matt Patricia with middle schools. I don't know why he's being put by professional organizations.
Because people are just so enamored with the Patriots from fucking Anyway,
so like I know what you're about to say. Like Hurts, I am willing to give him a pass just because like he also did look incredible for the first like 11, 12 weeks of the season, and then he just fell off because like the team on as a whole fell apart, and like he can't just hold it all together by himself.
I understand that, but like I think this team's very lucky that Tush Push is going to be most likely banned next year because Hurts is no longer going to keep getting beaten up on it, and I think
he's not going to be there to execute it either.
Exactly, and
well,
that's
potentially. Like it did come out after this game that Kelsey told his teammates he was retiring. He did come out afterward and say like that's not true. I haven't made a decision yet, and I get it. Like you're not going to decide to retire like the minute after this happened to you.
Yeah,
but like I don't think Kelsey's going to want to go out like this, but again, at the same time, like very few get to go out on top. So,
well, and the thing with Kelsey, though, like I think he might because all of a sudden he realizes his name brand is at an all-time high right now. Like him going into media or whatever it is he decides to do. Him stepping off the field, he probably can do better for himself than he's doing on the field. So I think
he can visit his McDonald's employees on a more regular basis.
Yeah, yeah.
But we haven't even talked about the Bucks yet. Like the Eagles are so bad, they made Todd Bowles look like a good coach. That's how bad they were in this game.
It wasn't even
I've never been for Todd Bowles as the coach.
It wasn't even the Bucks like star players doing this too. It was like their fourth and fifth wide receivers that were making all the plays.
Yeah, like this was again like the Bucks just took what the Eagles gave them. I don't think talent-wise, I don't think the Bucks are a better team than the Eagles.
No,
the Eagles just were not. They just like you said, their team is like just gave up.
Yeah, and that's the big concern if I'm for this team was just how much they had given up in this game. They didn't want to be there, and it's a playoff game, guys. Like,
yeah, Sirianni just again kind of like McCarthy. Just failed to get this team ready.
Yeah.
A team that had they made great moves, had great talent, had a great roster, and we all expected like just phenomenal things out of just absolutely fucking collapsed. Like a la 2020 Steelers collapsed.
Yeah, absolutely. This was, and funny enough to Baker Mayfield again too.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield against 10-win teams to start the year.
I do want it. Baker, he's getting the Daniel Jones contract, 100%. If maybe or at minimum the Geno contract. At an absolute minimum, he is getting Geno's contract.
I feel like it'll be a contract that'll be avoidable after 1 year because again, I feel like we had plenty of evidence that trusting Baker Mayfield long term, not a good decision.
But but here's the thing: like Baker did that this year, where. The Bucks they did what the Saints should be doing, which is they took their medicine. They just went, all right, we're taking our medicine. And they ate all their dead salary cap all in 1 year. And Baker still got them to a divisional playoff game. And not only that, like he's a live dog in that game.
No, so like Baker's like you can do worse. You can definitely do worse. You can do better, but you can also do worse. So again, I think that 40 is a little pricey, but also, you can do worse.
I right now for a quarterback, 40 is kind of the going rate.
But again, like Geno money, I can see.
All right,
it's going to do it for our that's the wild card. Now we'll go to divisional playoff football. What do we got first up? The Ravens versus the Texans.
This is easily the single biggest game of Lamar Jackson's career so far, without question. This is all right, Lamar. Who are you? You're going to be a two-time MVP player because he's winning MVP this year. So you're more than likely going to be a two-time MVP, but you've only got one playoff win. Who are you? This is your best chance you've ever had. It's better than 2019. This is the best chance they've ever had to make a Super Bowl. Because if you win this against a don't get me wrong, a up and coming, really hot young team, you could you beat them. Then next week you're playing either the Chiefs or the Bills, who have just beaten up on each other. Like this is your best chance ever to make a Super Bowl. I'm getting the feeling it's going to be 2019 again. I'm believing in CJ Stroud right now. I really am. I think this is feeling like 2019, where you've just got this team of destiny around them in the Texans, which is what the Titans were. Like, I know they didn't end up winning, but they were just.
I'm saying like some destiny. They didn't have to fill the destiny.
I know, but as in, but they were definitely one of those, like, where the hell did this come from? Like, it was just this miracle run, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think CJ Stroud comes out and goes, "I'm the best rookie quarterback of all time." Like if he wins this game, he is. Like, there's no. This is the greatest rookie season ever for a quarterback. With there isn't any real competition. If he took this Texans team, who had the second overall number one pick last year, to the conference championship game, it's literally never been done before.
I got the Ravens. I'm not just. I hear you. At the same time, though, that Baltimore defense is terrifying, and potentially the best defense CJ Stroud has gone up against in his NFL career.
Yeah, that's fair. 100%.
I also had the Ravens, but I do think this game is going to be closer. I kind of view this as going into the fourth quarter pretty close, and then Houston is going to make rookie mistakes. So I'm also going to take the Ravens in this one.
All right, what we got next?
All right, we are going to the
49ers versus Packers. Again, I just imagine Aaron Rodgers seething in anger if Jordan Love beats the Packers. Jordan Love beats the 49ers.
I need it more than anything. I need this so badly for Jordan Love.
It also proves you right.
What for Jordan? Oh, what? Yeah, that the 49ers would. Yeah, that the 49ers weren't a team at all. Like that Brock Purdy was going to be the reason this team. Because I think that is going to be the only reason this team loses. If is going to be Brock Purdy. If the 49ers lose, we're going to turn and go. Brock Purdy was the reason. He threw a dumb pick. He threw, that's going to be the thing that cost them. But my God, can you imagine Jordan Love beats the one team Rodgers never could in the playoffs?
I mean, that would be pretty wild, but I don't see it happening again. I think
I think Joe Barry becomes Joe Barry again in this game.
McCaffrey runs all over them, or that then they decide to load the box and stop McCaffrey, and so Purdy just is able to throw the ball.
Either Joe Barry does Joe Barry and lets the 49ers offense run wild, or Jordan Love goes against Rodgers and then becomes Rodgers by winning in this game and losing in the NFC Championship game.
Well, yeah. Touche on that.
Yeah.
I think, though, of all the games, this is the one that I have the most confidence of any game this week. I think the 49ers take this pretty soundly.
Yeah. I also got Niners, but again, and I'm not just saying I would like to see the Packers win this one and then still see them losing the conference championship.
All right.
But yeah, but also Packers playing with Houseman at this point. So, yeah, Lions versus Bucks. I mean, it would have been really funny to have the Eagles win this. Then, because I firmly believe whoever won between the Bucks and Eagles, the Lions would have beaten them this week. I think it sucks that the Lions don't get a chance to exercise their own demons in Matt Patricia by sending the Eagles home. But I do have the Lions taking this over the Bucks.
I've got this as a really close game. Actually, I think this is going to be a really good close game. This comes down to who's going to make the mistake. Is it going to be Goff or is it going to be Baker? Now, and whether or not that Bucks defense can get pressure on Goff. If they can get pressure on Goff, this could be ugly. I don't think they will, so I'm gonna go with the Lions, and I think the Lions will win. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks pull this one off. I think this is the one that obviously I picked the Texans, but if taking the Texans game aside, I think this is the one where it's the genuine dog has an actual real chance to win this.
They do. They do because also for some reason head coaching candidate Aaron Glenn's defense gets exposed repeatedly. I don't know if it's bad coaching or corners getting burned because Cam Sutton did get burned up with Nakua on that one route. But they can take advantage of that, but at the same time, I do think that offensive line for the Lions is arguably the best in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, definitely. Still of the ones that
they are.
I mean, the closest is 49ers. Like that.
Yeah, San Fran is the closest, but also I think the interior for the interior, aside from Trent Williams, I would take the entire. I think the Lions are the better offensive line at every position except left tackle.
Yeah,
because they have Trent Williams.
I do want to it's crazy to me that out of from the NFC, Baker, Goff, Love, or
Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be wild for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, not Jalen Hurts,
not Dak Prescott,
not Matt Stafford.
Not Kirk Cousins. I know obviously Kirk's injured, but just all these names, just nope, they're not there.
I got the Lions taking this one. I do kind of agree with you, and the Bucks are going to put up a genuine fight. I don't think this is going to be an outright blowout, but I do think that the momentum the Lions have is going to roll over, and they are going to take it. But the game that I don't know what to pick in this one.
Chiefs versus that depends. Does this game go into overtime? Because if it does, I know I'm picking.
I'm gonna be sick. I'm honestly gonna be sick watching this game. This is. I said the first one was the biggest game of Lamar Jackson's career, biggest game of Josh Allen's career right now.
I agree,
without question. They lose this game. They lose this game. It's you're never gonna beat this team. You can't beat this team. Everything is going. This is your single greatest opportunity ever to beat the Chiefs.
I was about to say, I'm just the ball is literally in the Bills' court. Literally in their courts. Have they ever played Mahomes in Buffalo?
Sorry, no. They have, but never in a playoff.
Right. Mahomes' first ever road playoff game.
They have, and they killed them. The Chiefs murdered the Bills. It was ugly. It was in 2020, I think. Was it 2020 or not 2019? I can't remember which year.
Also, like I said, Mahomes' very first. Mahomes played 15 playoff games. He has never once played on the road.
Aside from
technically, he's played 3 on the road technically, but
this is going to be a
Super Bowls. He's played 3 Super Bowls. They're technically
Super Bowls, sure, whatever, but those don't count.
And I mean, if you want to get real technical, he's played 1 legitimately on the road, and that was the Tampa.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I this is a huge game. This is easily, like I said, easily the biggest game in Bills' recent history. They have to win this. You cannot lose this game. You lose this game, I think McDermott has to be fired. I think there needs to be a seismic rebuild within the franchise of we're not getting over this hump, especially when if we don't win this game, cool, that's going to knock us back again because, look at the Texans, look at all these other teams that are coming up. We can't beat the Bengals right now. We just straight up cannot beat the Bengals, and we don't have to play them this year. Like, they're not in the playoffs this year. So if we can beat this Chiefs team, next week we got half a chance. Because we can beat the Ravens. We've proven that. We know how to beat the Ravens. So this is a big game for the Bills. If we win this, there's a legitimate shot we have at making the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it's close. I'm going Buffalo on this one.
I'm sorry to say it, Jacob, but this is the one road team I'm going with. I got the Chiefs in this, and it's not because of Mahomes; it's because of that defensive line.
Yeah, the injuries really concern me. I'm really terrified about our defense. I'm really worried about our defense. I'm hoping Allen pulls out some magic and miracle. I just hope he also doesn't try and be Superman. I think he's
right.
I'm hoping it's one of those ones where he just naturally becomes Superman, but isn't trying to be Superman. Yeah, this is going to be. There's a Bills bar here, and I'm debating going to watch it there or if I watch it at home in the comfort of my own home. I don't know. I'm so fucking terrified for this game, guys. I'm like,
go to the Bills bar. Go to the Bills bar.
I've actually gone to 2 separate Bills bars for games, and they're always fun crowds to be. And I will say that outright. That go to the Bills bar, have a good time.
Yeah.
But that is going to do it for the show today. The stage is set for divisional weekend. Let's see who comes out on top. But until then, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Jacob, where can we find you?
Guys can find me pretty much everywhere at Jacob London. Yeah, basically.
Mike?
And you can find me every Wednesday night. What the show?
I'm a Twitter @chance _91. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Late.